Hey everybody, welcome to My Green Pets. This is William Green, and today is February 9th, 2018. If you had asked me last autumn what my collection was going to look like in a few months, I would have said, well, I don't know if it's going to do much this year. Boy, oh boy, have they surprised me. These plants are doing great, and most of them are either in bud or spike. Let's take a close look at what's going on. Let's start out with Callosum. This is a species orchid, and this is a dark version. Usually it's got more green and white in it, but this is kind of a dark version. I think it's called Coloratum is the variety name. But why am I so proud of this? It just looks like one of those medusae type slipper orchids, right? No. This is the first slipper orchid that I have grown from a seedling to bloom. So this is the first bloom on this plant, and I am so proud of it. I'm so happy. Couldn't be happier. It looks great. It's beautiful. Yes. Isn't it lovely? So happy about this. And we've got a new growth coming in at the bottom there. And I guess that'll be blooming in the next maybe 2 years from now. Not sure. These are supposed to grow quickly. We'll see. Look at this. 3 bulbophyllums open in one shot. It's great. It's great because this is the first time that I've had this particular group of flowers all in bloom at once, and seeing them all together is just so nice. Let's look at each one individually. This is Hal over here on the left. We've seen lots of him this year. This has been a big year for Hal. I've had this plant for 4 years, and it finally bloomed for the first time this year. Guys, this is a plant to have, I'm telling you. If you look back here on the stem, each one of those is a previous bloom. This flower is flower number 10. This plant has been in bloom continuously, one after another, since August. We're now in February. No signs of stopping. If you look behind it, you can see that the bud is developing for number 11 back there. This is great. No wonder it took so many years to bloom. It knew that once it got started, it wasn't going to be able to stop. What's this lovely flower? This is Lovely Elizabeth. And Lovely Elizabeth has got 6 flowers open right now. Can you believe that those are even flowers? Aren't they amazing? See, those bulbophyllums, this is the most successful group of orchids, and the reason is because they figured out a long time ago that, you know, forget trying to attract bees and birds and butterflies to pollinate your flowers. No. We're going to attract flies. And because of that, I think they just have become so successful. There's so many of them. And just look at the colors. Oh, hairs, stripes. Look at the glistening surface of the petals. They are just wonderful. And unlike last year, we've got 3 spikes on this plant this year. So even though these are probably going to fade in the next couple days, the next 2 spikes will be coming up and maybe in bloom at the same time. So lots to look forward to with that. Now hiding out down here is my little antenna bulbo. And you've seen it several times in the past. The great thing about this one is that it doesn't really have a bloom season. Basically, as soon as it finishes a bulb, it pushes up a flower spike, and so every month or so, or every couple months, this thing is blooming. So imagine once it gets big, it'll be nice when it has multiple flowers all open at once. But it's a cute little thing. You can see the buds on Bulbophyllum medusae looking like they're just about ready to pop open. They have been very slow opening up. I kind of was hoping that all 4 of the bulbos would be open at the same time, but this one's taking its time. So let's back up and give this guy some attention. Look at this. Look at it. Phragmipdium Grande finally in bloom. Man, this thing popped open very quickly. Look at it. Oh, 3 years, guys. 3 years watching growths rot off, hail damage. Oh my gosh, we've been through so much with this thing. Look at that. Isn't that wonderful? And when you look in the pouch, you can see where in the bottom there, if you can see where insects will get trapped and have to crawl out the back to get out. It's just amazing. Look at the little hairs up there. I mean, oh, I love it. I was thinking in the past, Phragmipdiums, I don't really like them. I don't really know. They're too grassy. They're too... Well, I'm pretty impressed. This flower is humongous. It's huge. 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 So, big flowers, always a good thing. And long, skinny petals. Long, skinny petals. Just, oh, and look at the color on those things, I'm telling you. White on the edge, that kind of brownish stripe, and then green in the middle. Lots of little hairs all over the thing. So many little details, spots and warts and veins. I mean, it is really, really nice. This is a 4N, which I believe means it has 4 sets of chromosomes in each cell, which means the plant is bigger and the flowers are bigger than they normally would be on a Phrag Grande. So 4N, I forget if it's called tetraploid, polyploidy. This issue is this cellular thing, chromosome thing. Anyway, 4N is supposed to make them bigger. So long story short, wow, I am so impressed with this thing. I'm so happy about it. We got another bud on the way up here. Great. But just take a moment to enjoy all of these flowers together. Just weirdness. We got weirdness going on today in the green room. All kinds of weirdness. Wonderful. Over here we got some buds that are going to open up soon. You can see Yana got 7 buds swelling up on there. And then my little Amesiella down here. Looks like it's working on its little flower. One single flower, but look how that spur is already starting to grow out. And that thing will get much longer than it already is. Very nice little pristine white porcelain looking flower when it opens up. And it wasn't very fragrant last year. I'm hoping that we'll get a little bit more fragrance out of it this year. What else we got? This Oncidium, speckled spire. Clonal name is Wisp. I do not remember how I heard about this plant. I read about it on some forum somewhere, probably Orchid board. But it's got 2 spikes on it, and those will be so nice. They are going to be white with brown speckles. If you look back through my videos from maybe 2015, I think, you'll see a video that it's dedicated to this plant. You see what the flowers look like. But I'm looking forward to having 2 spikes open at once. That'll be a first for this guy. Oncidium spikes are so cool to watch because they develop slowly from just this tiny little, nothing. But they grow up and then they just start branching out and you just get all this stuff going on. Orchid spikes are amazing. It's like they start as nothing and then become these incredibly intricate structures. It's just amazing. Okay, and the last thing that's in spike that I did, oh my gosh, I jumped up and down for joy when I saw this. So this plant is Oncidium maculatum. It is so special to me. The reason this plant is special to me is because back in 2012, 2013, my first orchid with pseudobulbs ever was a hybrid that had maculatum in the background. It was called Oncidium Jungle Monarch or something like that, I think. And I loved that thing. And then I was living in France at the time. When you move countries, you cannot take your plants with you, right? You can't. There are rules against this unless you want to pay all this money to have them quarantined. I did not. So I left those plants behind. It was sad for me, but when I got back, I was like, I want that species. I want to have that Oncidium maculatum. So I got it. Russ, if you remember the interview last week, Russ from New Vision Orchids, he got that plant for me. And my name, that blue tag, my name is still on that blue tag back there. The hybrid name is still in there. It's just as I got it. Anyway, this plant was destroyed by a hailstorm 2 years ago. You can see all kinds of damage on the pseudobulbs. Look at that. Really, it made it out pretty well considering they were golf ball sized hailstones. But the plant has not done great since then. But this year it put out this new bulb, right? And can we find it? Can we find it? Can we find it? Can we see it? Yep, there it is. Look at this. Spike! Spike, spike, spike. I'm so excited about this. I'm telling you. So excited. Not gonna get too excited. I mean, I'm, not too excited because I don't want to, it could blast, it could not bloom, it could go wonky, who knows, but I'm just happy that for right now, it looks like this plant may be blooming in the next couple months. That spike will also take a long time to develop, but I am so glad to see that. Very, very relieved. Okay, let's look at the other slippers. These are the multi-florals over here, the big green ones. I am expecting every single one of these to bloom this year. They skipped last year. It's time to bloom, guys. If you touch the bottom of the plant, if you kind of squeeze it like this, you can kind of feel that they feel fat down there. That kind of is an indication that they may bloom. So we've got new growths coming out. There's the one little one right down there. This one's got 2 new growths coming out. New growth on this one. New growth back here. Wait, where is it? Sorry. Bad camera work. I hate bad camera work. Back here in the dark. Here it is. That's got new growth on it. That's just a telltale sign that we should be expecting some flowers. Now this one's my award winner, right? This got the Award of Merit a couple years ago. I'm so super proud of this one, but we're going to try to top it. They told me that if it produced more flowers or bigger flowers to bring it back in, and they could even increase the award. So who knows? Fingers crossed on that. My other little slipper back here, Annabelle Shen, bloomed 2 years ago. Looking for this one to bloom next year as well. This is a little Odette's Vision. I'm not sure back here if it's going to bloom. It's kind of in recovery mode. It's been divided, so they kind of take a while. But anyway, we're excited about those. Hopefully this will be a slipper season. This year we'll see some really nice ones. We're getting started with the Phragmipdium Grande, but maybe we'll have more slippers as the year goes on. On to the Cata Sedum types. This is more Sagnotis Wine Delight. And look here. Ah! Waking up. Got a little growth pushing out and also a little root pushing out. Now, everything that I've always been told and read has said, wait until the roots are well developed before you even think about putting water on these things. Looks very shriveled up. Looks like it wants water. Look at those roots. Oh, they look so thirsty. No. I have learned my lesson. You can ask Fred Clark. He says the same thing on his website. Keep your little paws off these guys until the roots are well developed. Several inches, several centimeters long. Like this long. Very long. Okay? The idea is that in the wild, and I saw these in Mexico earlier this year, the idea is that in the wild, they start putting out roots before the dry season's over, so that when it does rain, they've already got roots out, they're already ready to absorb moisture. Okay, so do what you want. I'm not going to water these guys until those roots are developed. My other Cata Sedum type is still asleep, still fast asleep. Last year I had it in Sphagnum. This is Mormodia Jumbo World. Everybody likes this one. It's got those pretty green with red speckled flowers. And last year I had it potted in Sphagnum, and the roots did not like it. They stayed too wet. They didn't grow right. So this year I've got it in that cocoa stuff. You can buy this at your big box stores as a pot liner. but you just kind of fold it up and stick it in there. So hopefully this is going to be a little bit airier. It's going to dry out a little more quickly than the sphagnum, and hopefully we can get a nice big fat pseudobulb on it this year. I've been struggling past couple years to get anything bigger than this. I want some big bulbs on it this year. Let's see if we can get them. Alright, let's talk baby Cattleyas for a minute. These are all my Cat-Lair X seedlings. Happy little family, brothers and sisters. I've been saying the past couple weeks we're looking for growth to start. I don't know how these plants do it. I don't know how they know. I do not know how they figure it out. We're under lights, we're in a basement. How do they know? Is there some kind of... I don't know what's going on. Anyway, they know when it's time to grow. And they start to swell up. The little eye, the little growing point at the bottom there, starts to swell up. You can kind of see it's got a brown dot on it. And this guy has started. It has swollen up, and it is going to be pushing new growth through that little brown spot on there soon. This has swollen considerably in the last couple weeks. And not only this one, see that swollen spot there? Right there? There. Swelling, time to grow. How do they know? They all do it at the same time. Are they like talking to each other? I don't know. I don't get it. This one too, sorry. Swollen, look, swelling. Here it goes. All at the same time. The little ones over there as well. New growth. Swelling up. New roots. I don't know how they do it. Maybe once they've had enough dormancy, maybe once they have rested enough, maybe once they've rested a few months, they can feel it. It's time to wake up. I don't know, but it's pretty amazing. Looking forward to these growing this year. Gonna try not to make any mistakes. Gonna try to keep them really happy. And this one is the one, guys. This one. Fingers crossed. Do a little dance. Jump up and down. Blink 3 times. Clap your hands. And maybe this will grow into a blooming size pseudobulb this summer. That's what we're hoping for. If so, it'll be 4 years from Flask. 4 years. 1, 2, 3, 4. These bulbo echinolabium divisions kind of had it rough for a couple months there. The original plant down here, see him? All those bulbs used to have leaves on them, but after it got torn to pieces, I tore it into 5 pieces, a lot of the bulbs fell off. However, the spikes have stayed on it. I don't know, that might have something to do with the fact that, that might be the reason the leaves fell off, because it was trying to keep the spikes going. Anyway, I'm happy to keep it blooming. But finally we are starting to see root growth on these divisions. Can we see it? Can we see it? Oh, look at that. Roots. This is good. That means that they are stabilizing, they're starting to grow, and hopefully we're going to see new growth popping out of here soon. Once these guys definitely start growing, they are going to be up for sale. They are going to need a home. I have 4. This one's got 4 bulbs on it. This is a little one with 2 bulbs. I've got a nice big one here, huge division with 4 bulbs. Check out the size of this bulb on this thing. Look at it compared to my hand. Big, huge bulb here, and it's got a spike on it. Is this plant ever offered in spike? Never. No. Try to find one, you won't. And then we've got this smaller division here, and then we have the original, which I'm gonna keep. I might actually split this into 2 more pieces, but then it'll probably lose all of its leaves. I'm gonna wait till it's growing a little bit. Got some growth on it. So those are gonna be coming up soon. Excited about that. And this is from a family of plants I never talk about, but you know, I've got one. This plant is actually a gift from my plant sitter Steve. Thank you, Steve. And this is Nepenthes. It's Splendiana by Song of Melancholy. So it is a hybrid, pretty vigorous hybrid. You can see that how the leaves have gotten bigger with every growth. And look at the newest picture. Wow, what an increase in size there. These are really nice. You can see they've got that nice red color, and on the inside they get these beautiful splotches of color. Very nice indeed. And we've got a new picture coming out here. You guys who are better at nepenthes than me, maybe you can tell me the reason that sometimes the new leaves come out and form pitchers, and other times they don't form pitchers. I don't really know why that is. I've heard that it has to do with humidity. I've heard that it has to do with minerals in the soil. I don't know. But I have another nepenthes over here. We're gonna walk. Sorry, trying to keep it still, keep it still, keep it still. This is a ventrata. It's ventricosa and a lot of hybrid. And it made some nice pictures. Here's one down here, very nice, love it, beautiful. But since it has made this one, the newest leaves have not. They just kind of stopped. You know, they grow, they spread out, but then they don't create pictures. So if anybody has any hints on that, I water these with rainwater only. I do not use tap water on them, but I'm not quite sure what caused it to stop pitchering. Maybe it's the humidity. The humidity in here, as you can see, is not terribly high. It's at 55% right now, but sometimes it gets down into the 40% range. So maybe when I take it outside for the summer, it'll do better. But any hints on that, nepenthes hints from you experts out there would be appreciated. All right, guys, I think that's enough excitement for one day. I'm worn out, but I appreciate you guys stopping by. I hope that you enjoy watching my green pets grow and bloom. I certainly do. And please stay tuned for further updates and more stuff going on with my green pets. I'm William Green. Thank you so much. See you next time. Bye.